Hello, my name is Jimmy Leon, and I'm running for Congress, District 9. It's basically the southwest part of Houston, Texas. My opponent's name is Al Green. Al Green has been in Congress for about 20 years, almost 20 years. He is part of the swamp. Nothing is getting done in my congressional district. Part of my congressional district looks like a third world country. I want to change that. I want to do something. I also want to do something for about crime, and also for black females in my congressional district. According to one research, black females in my districts are the poorest people in my district. I want to create programs for them. Programs that Al Green has failed to do for the poorest people in my congressional district, which are black females. I want to do something for them. Al Green has not served my district properly. Nothing has been done with the Astrodome. I also want to do something with the Astrodome. Whatever is feasible for everybody, I will pursue to have something done with the Astrodome before it deteriorates more. I'm also big on veterans issues. I want to help do something more for disabled veterans. It's a disgrace, a national disgrace, what we put our veterans through. Our veterans need to have their proper compensation for their disabilities. They also have families. Some of them have 2 or 3 kids, and this is the reasons why they're committing suicide. Approximately 23 veterans a day are committing suicide, and according to my research, it has a lot to do with the fact that they're not getting their disability rating. They deserve to be properly compensating, especially when we have money to send overseas to foreign countries. We've got money to send to Iran, one of our enemies. We also always find money to send to other countries, like currently we're sending money to Ukraine. I feel for the Ukrainians, but I feel more for my American citizens that are disabled. I feel more for them as a veteran myself. And I want to encourage people to get out and vote. Out of 38 congressional districts in Texas, my congressional district ranks very low. That means the turnout is not what it should be. The registered Republican voters, they're there. They are there. All they need to do is come out. We can get rid of Al Green. Al Green needs to retire. In September, he will turn 75 years old. I have learned that in Texas, in most judicial races, if you're over 75 years old, you're ineligible to be a judge in Texas. Al Green should know better than that. He used to be a judge. What makes him think that he can be a great congressman at 75 years old? We need to retire him and get new leadership in there. The other thing that I'm so proud of is I have taken the pledge on term limits. I don't want to serve more than 6 years or 3 terms in Congress. I do not want to be a career politician. I want to be a statesman and do the right thing for my district. I want to thank you so much for your time, and God bless America.
Okay, and how can people support your campaign and your website address?
Okay, please, I've got a Facebook page. Go to my Facebook page, Jimmy I. Leon for Congress, District 9, and like my page and tell all your friends about me. Everybody. We can do this. The registered Republican voters are there. They just need to come out. You got 2 weeks of early voting. You got 2 weeks to do it. I suggest you do it and don't wait for election day, because on election day, the weather might be bad, it might be raining, and that'll give you an excuse not to vote. I don't want that to happen to you. Your vote does matter. Your vote does matter. And for me to win, the vote has to be overwhelming. That means if there's any fraud, if I'm cheated 10 or 20,000 votes, if the vote is overwhelming, I will have a potential of winning this and retiring Al Green.
Buenas tardes, everybody. This is Eduardo Lopez de Casas at the August Menudo meetup. We're having a wonderful meeting with many community leaders, volunteers, supporters, and just concerned citizens. They're concerned because of everything that is happening in our community, the price of gas, the lack of groceries, the price of groceries, all of the shortages, even clothing now. You know, now that we're getting ready to send our children back to school, we have to get together and do something. We have to make changes. Our city hall here is full of corruption now. We're seeing that. It's about time we get together as Latinos and say, we have had enough. Ya no más. We need to put new leadership in office, and it needs to be representation from the Latino and Hispanic community. Here in Houston, I just returned last week from Denver, Colorado for this. I was there for the National Conference of SNAP. And just as soon as I get here in Houston, you know, SNAP is the oldest sexual abuse organization in the United States. It's been in effect for over 30 years. As soon as I get back to Houston, I see that there's this judge in Tomball that has just given a sentence to this teacher that molested a young man from the time he was 13 years old for 3 years. She molested him. She has just been given a 60-day sentence with 10 years probation, and when she gets through with her probation, she will not have anything on her record as a sexual predator. Yes, that is happening in our own community. It's a shame, but you know what? Latinos, we can do it. And we're starting here at the Menudo meetup. So if you want to start something, and if you want to make something big happen for the Hispanic community, meet us here on the first Saturday of every month at 12 o'clock at Chapultepec, Lupita. Muchas gracias.
Hello, my name is Andy Valadez, one of the co-founders of the Saturday Menudo Club. This all started with just a chat with Eduardo, Lopez, and Casas. One day we were talking about, hey, you know what, let's start a Menudo Club. I personally hadn't eaten it in years. I know that my mother used to make it, and we have it, maybe I'd have it once a year, that kind of thing. But just in the spirit of Menudo, we've got a gathering here of community-minded leaders that just get together once a month, first Saturday of the month at various locations. Right now we've been meeting here at Chapultepec, Lupita off of Richmond. They have some awesome menudo, some other food if you don't eat menudo, like pastole and enchiladas and that kind of thing. And so this is just part of, you know, the body of work that we're working on to leverage. I'm in marketing, my background's marketing, but I've been, I guess, focused on the issues of our country and getting people to understand what's at stake. You know, I served in the Marine Corps. And as a veteran, you know, I'm very proud and thankful to the American people who provided, you know, the training that I had to go in and, you know, that I needed when I was in, you know, and ultimately swore an oath to defend the Constitution and all that. But I got a family, I got a wife, you know, kids, and we're seeing what's happening to our country. And so we just really have to get clarity when it comes to the rights that we have under the Constitution and make sure that we're abiding by it. You know, the Second Amendment, you know, the freedom of speech, all these issues that guarantee our freedom. You know, we've got leaders that are are in office now that are swearing the oath, but then they're violating their oath. They're trying to take away our guns. They're trying to tax us to death, basically. You know, they're taking away freedoms, our freedom of speech, with all the shadow banning and stuff that's happening with the conservative voice, especially. Our faith is under fire. Our families are under fire. Ultimately, we need righteous men and women to stand up and not be aligned to their party. You know, I supported the Trump campaign in 2015 and also 2020 as a volunteer, and got to meet a lot of great folks and whatnot. And ordinarily, you know, you've heard the old saying that business and politics don't mix. Well, it's no longer about politics, it's about the country, right? So do your own research. I mean, that's kind of the platform of the Menudo Club. We accept everybody. Come down here, you know, have your piece and talk about what you're concerned about. And then we'll give you a voice. We'll give you a platform. At Saturday Menudo Club, we meet the first Saturday of each month. We may expand that and have some offshoots of that. Always looking for your ideas. And if you're interested in showing up, just go to our Facebook page, Saturday Menudo Club. I have some other clubs that I've started as well. I've got, let's see here, the 4 a.m. for early risers is for people that, you know, are deciding to set the alarm back a little bit. You know, there's actually some good quality time that you can pick up on that. You don't have to necessarily do it every day, but I've got a group on that. I've got, you know, a veterans smoker group that we started for those that are veterans business owners, but you don't have to be a veterans business owner to be a part of it. But it's just a gathering of like-minded folks that are interested in veterans causes, veterans issues, and you may want to go in business one day or you have a business, but it's just an informal powwow. We actually meet the third Thursday of the month in the evening from 5 to 7, and ultimately it's at different locations as well. We're currently meeting at Casa de Monte Cristo in the Galleria area, and so we meet again every second Thursday of the month in the Galleria area. So my name is Andy Valadez, co-founder of the Menudo Club, and I just wanted to come from behind the camera today to at least introduce myself. You can go to my website, andyvaladez.com, to find out more what I'm about. Again, that's andyvaladez.com with the V-A-L-A-D-E-Z. I know a lot of people misspell my last name. And my tagline's on mission. So basically, I'm always on mission, focused on the things that are important to me, from fitness to family to faith to the gun rights, you know, to the topics of the day and what we're discussing in America. We push back on COVID. We push back on the voter fraud. We push back on a lot of things about abortion. I push back on use my talents and abilities to influence and work with others. We push back on the monument destruction, all the stuff that was coming at us. We supported our community as well when the hurricanes happened. We help effect rescues, and we plugged in with the Zillow channels and radio personalities to help people get the resources like flood maps. You know, we wanted people to know where to avoid. I had friends during Harvey, for example, that were stranded in GRB, and thankful to my mighty network, I was able to get them out of there through just contact people looking to help folks, right? So it's all about community. It's all about caring. You know, there was a statistic I read recently. I think it was Peter Drucker that wrote a book called Manage Oneself, and it says if you haven't volunteered by the time you're 40, you're less likely to volunteer in your 60s. So I've been real thankful that when I was in the Marine Corps, my executive officer, Lieutenant Pullman, actually had me and encouraged me to volunteer in the community, and I've continued to do that over the years now. And so I do a lot of support, you know, volunteer work in a lot of nonprofits, and I'm available as a marketing guy, PR guy. That's kind of my strength, but also as a business development person, and then solutions oriented, finding where I can recruit, add value to the groups, you know, especially, you know, there's so many different needs, right? So if we can solve problems easier with the talent and the talent pool that we're able to attract, then it makes everybody's job easier. So again, come out to the Saturday Menudo Club. It's first Saturday of the month, and be a part of this discussion that's ongoing. And we memorialize it with the videos. If you have something to say on camera, we definitely would love to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much. 1, 2, 3. ¡Ya no más!